Hi guys, welcome back to another video from Nia Creative Home YouTube channel. For this video I will talk about the curtains. They are a great element of design, a great decoration item to make your design stand out, to make your design special. Let's get started. Transforming your space with curtains is a great way to add style to your space, privacy and functionality as well. When you are choosing the curtains that you want to use in your space, it is important to consider the colors that you want to use on your curtains. Those colors need to combine with the rest of the design, with the rest of the decorations that you have for your space. Consider having like already a color scheme, and your curtains will go along with that color scheme. Either will have the same colors as other elements, or it will have a color that will complement the rest of the decoration of the space that you are designing. For example, if your furniture and your walls are neutrals, then you can add for a pop of color on your curtains. You can make the curtains stand out in the design. In the other hand, if you have bold colors on your walls or bold colors on your furniture, then you can go neutral with your curtains so that the design is not overwhelming with too much bold colors and too much bold items in the space. Decide on the length of the curtain. If you need something more shorter, something more longer, it will depend of the room that you have, and it will depend on the window, for example, that you are using that curtain for. For example, the long curtains will make your ceiling look higher. For example, if you have a room that looks short, then a long curtain will add that illusion of a higher ceiling. But on the other hand, the shorter curtains will make your room look cozier, more compact, if that's what you need in the space. Always analyze the space, always analyze what you need on that space. Other thing to consider when you are thinking about the length of the curtain is if you have children or you have animals, pets on your house. And that can be a little bit tricky because kids and the pets, sometimes they tend to push the curtains. So it is something for you to consider, to put that in your mind when you are choosing the length of the curtains, and even the type of curtains and road that you use to put the curtains. You have to consider that if you have children or if you have pets in your house. A great decoration access to have in your curtains is tie backs, because with the tie backs you can style your curtains and keep them open when you need them to be open in a stylish and beautiful way too. The tie backs, they come in variety of materials, in variety of color, design, shapes. So be creative and use something that goes along with your decoration and something that is has a meaning for you, for example. Other great idea, if for example, is to layer your curtains. Layering your curtains will create a depth in the space that you are decorating, and will add at the same time the texture. The texture, as I mentioned on the other video, you can check out the card. Textures add sensation, add depth, and add visual appealing to any space. So a great idea, a great way to add texture using the curtains is, for example, layering the curtains on your design. You can use, for example, sheer curtains as a base, and then have like a heavier curtain on top of that sheer curtain to create that sensation of texture, that depth on the design. You can also try with different materials, with different patterns. You can add the patterns, you can add color to the decoration with the curtains, as I mentioned before, creating a unique look to your space. Something really important that it is really simple to think about, and on top of your head probably everybody does that, but it's always good to mention and to reassure that you don't forget to often clean the curtains, to often change the curtains. Curtains, for example, is a great item to have in your decoration if you want to change throughout the year the look of your decoration. You can use the curtains to add different colors, have a different texture. Will depend on your mood. Will depend. You can use it depending on the season of the year. It's up to you to be creative and use the curtains as some decoration item that can be changeable throughout the year. It's a great way to change your decoration according to your mood. For example, clean your curtains often, like, I don't know, for 2 times a year, 3 times a year, depend on how dirty they look, because some curtains, they accumulate more dust than the others. Some that have the facility to get more stains, so be attention to that and keep changing as long as you think it is needed. You can vacuum your curtains to take out all the dust, but it's really important to keep them clean, because if your curtains are not clean, then that is going to create a bad impact on your space too. It's really important to check the care instructions of your curtains before you decide to clean, because not all curtains, not all fabrics, not all materials will be washed in the same way, will be cleaned in the same way. So please be careful with the instructions and be aware of the instructions when you are cleaning your curtains. Let me give you guys now some steps to get started using the curtains. First of all, for me, the most important thing is the color scheme. Think about the color scheme, think about the style that you have on your decoration, the style, because the curtain will have to go along with the style that you already have in your design. Think if you want the curtains to stand out or not. Think about the measures of the curtains. Like I said before, if you want something shorter, if you want something longer, if you want something wider, something more narrow. After you have all the measures of the space that you're going to put the curtain, and after deciding the color scheme and the style of the curtain that you will use, select your fabric. What type of fabric that you want? Something less heavier, something more heavier, something more opaque. It will depend on the type of space that you are decorating. For example, in the living room, you can have sheer fabrics that allow the light to come inside, for example. But in the bedroom, depending, most of the time you prefer something more heavier, something more opaque, that will not allow the lights to come that easy inside of the room most of the time. For example, the bedroom is a great place to have that layer curtains, because during the day you can have the sheer curtains on front, and then you can have like the tie backs for the heavy part, the heavy curtains, and then at night you can close everything and you have a dark room that's gonna be dark till the morning, till dawn, till the moment that you are awake and you want to open again the curtains. So it's a great option to use. You can use those layer in other parts of your decoration, of course you can, but it's just like to give you guys an idea why sometimes it's a great idea to have the layer curtains. When you are hanging your curtains, make sure that you choose the proper rod for your curtain. If it is going to sustain well your curtain, if it's going to be easier, for example, to install or not, it will depend on the effort that you want to put in that project. And if it is one that it is easier for you to adjust the curtains. There are so many different types of rods and different types of way to hang your curtains. You don't have just one example or just one technique or just one way to do it. There are plenty of different ways to hang your curtains, and make sure that this project is something simple, is something easy to be achieved, and that will create that extra coziness. Because for me, other great functionality of the curtains is to create that coziness that you need most of the time in the room, because it's almost like the last part of the decoration is that extra warm to a space is having curtains hanging on your windows. That's my opinion. If you want something more open, more bright, then you don't need to use the curtains. Or if you want to use the curtains, still wants to have some privacy inside of the space, then you can have like the sheer curtains, for example. And there are different types of curtains. Although this video is just about curtains, I want you guys to remember and keep in mind that curtains are not just the only way to have window covering. There are at least like the main top ways are four, and those are the drapes, then you have the curtains, then you have the shades, and then you have the blinds. It will depend on what type of material that you want to use, as I already mentioned, and what type of design that you want to create. So just to give you guys that reminder that there are more than one way to cover your windows. You don't need just to use curtains. You can use other types of elements too. Continue with the curtains, because here we're talking, I decided just to bring the curtains, but if you want me to bring other video about the blinds or the shades or the drapes, let me know here in the comments down below, and I will be glad to make a video about the other types of window coverings. But for the purpose of this video, I'm only going to talk about the curtains because they are the ones that are most used. Now, if you are still unsure, I don't know if I want to use curtains, or how do I choose curtains, or how do I decide which one is the best for my design, I will give you some small tips just to open the path for you to decide what type of curtain that you're going to use. For example, if you have like a small space, consider having like a light color curtains. Don't go too much further with the color of the curtain, because that will overwhelm your space. You're gonna see this word so many times. I have to think about a synonym, like a different word for this one, because it's really too much stuff overwhelms the space. Too much stuff makes the space look too heavier, and that's not the goal of your decoration, I'm pretty sure. So if you have a small space, use a light curtain color that makes the room look larger. The length of the curtain will influence the appearance of the space too. Like I said, a long curtain will make the ceiling appear higher, for example. If you don't have a small space, you have something more open, more bigger, then you can add a bold statement curtain that you can go like wild. You can choose like a big print with a lot of color, but always combining with the decoration that you already have in that space. If you want to create something more warmer, something more cozy atmosphere, opt for a thicker curtain, a heavier curtain that will help to insulate the room and keep it cozy during the cooler times of the year. If you don't want the room to have too much light, then the heavier one are a great option. If you have children or pets, consider the curtains made from durable materials, and consider the type of rod that you're going to use too, because it has to be really good and support the heaviness of the curtain and the pushes from the children or from the pets too. Don't forget, think about the color, think about the length, think about the design that you are using already in that space. Consider if the curtain is going to have that bold statement, or if it's going to be something more neutral, depend on the type of wall, the color of the walls, and the design that you already have in that space. If you have a bolder color in the walls or in the furniture, then consider something more neutral on the curtains. If you have neutrals around your decoration and on the walls, then you can add that pop of color with the curtain. I think I cover everything about the curtains. Now I'm gonna give you guys some examples of curtains that I found on the internet, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Let's see it. Remember that curtains are a great and simple way to add color and personality to your space. It's a great way to add patterns, and it is a decoration item that can be changeable throughout the year. Take your time to choosing the curtains, think about the materials, think about the type of fabric that you want to have, and don't be afraid to experiment with the different type of textures, with different type of materials, with different colors and patterns until you find that perfect fit for your design. Try, be creative, use layers of curtains or use simple curtains. Think about the purpose of that room and the atmosphere that you want to create in that space. That was for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you gather a lot of content, and now you know a little bit more about the curtains and how to choose them and what's the process when you are choosing your curtains. Be creative, have fun, and as usual, if you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe to this amazing channel, save this video for later, share this video with your family, with your friend, with anybody that you know that is someone creative and that they just like you want to create the perfect design for their spaces. Till then, as usual, take care. Bye, people.